Okay. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay today.
Well, we went over the informed consent.
Yeah.
And do you have any questions about that or our confidentiality agreement?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, why don't you begin by telling me what brings you in today?
Okay. Well, I'm coming in because I'm having some financial issues. Um, so my husband really wanted me to come in because he thinks that I'm maybe reckless with our finances, and he's told me he's gonna leave me, but he did say if I went to counseling that maybe he would consider not leaving me. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Well, could you tell me more about the financial issues and where they're coming from?
Okay. Well, I guess I'm ashamed. I feel embarrassed to really admit it, but I guess I'm here.
Yeah, this is an open, safe space, and you can tell me anything.
Well, I have an addiction to gambling. Well, I don't know. I don't know if addiction is the right word. I don't go all the time. I don't, but when I do, I, I, I can't stop. I just keep going and going and going, and I just know that if I pull that bar on that slot machine, that the next time it's gonna be my jackpot.
So it sounds like to me that you don't go very often, but when you do, you cannot stop, and your husband has a real problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten to the point where, like, it was, were we gonna eat or were we gonna pay our mortgage? Because I went to the casino and used all the money, and I didn't know I was doing it. I like got in a trance. I like was just not in, just kept thinking it's gonna be better because then I'm gonna win this jackpot, and didn't really realize the amount of money that I was withdrawing, and it would be like I wouldn't stop until the ATM said no more money there.
Have you tried not going to the casinos? I mean, do you just try and make an effort not to even go there? What
Well,
drives you to go?
I don't live near one, so so I don't go very often, but when I travel for work, I often travel and I'm bored because I'm by myself, and so I don't, that's what I choose. That's where I go. That's where I end up. I end up at the casinos.
Now, have you always gone to the casinos when you've traveled for work, or are there other things you used to do?
Well, I used to be a runner, but I broke my leg I was in a car accident, and my femur was shattered, and so now I have pins in my legs, and it's really very painful to run, so I don't run anymore.
Have you tried any other activities besides running, like maybe swimming, where it's you don't have so much pressure?
I haven't tried swimming. I like yoga.
Okay. Well, what about have you ever looked into yoga classes when you know you're going to travel somewhere, and
I think they have them at the casino.
or maybe a different location? Because I believe if you would, the whole point is to stay away from the casino.
Okay, that's a good idea. I hadn't really considered that. I think my YMCA card I can use it at different locations. Maybe I could look into locations around where I'm traveling.
And how does that make you feel about maybe pursuing the yoga versus trying to go to a casino?
Well, I think it's a good idea. I guess I feel maybe like 50-50 that I could do it.
Okay, what would stop you from doing it?
I guess really the excitement that I feel when I go to the casino, and the idea that I could be the winner.
It is very exciting. It's a thrilling experience. But then afterwards, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel so shame at so ashamed, and I really get depressed. And I know, and then I get really anxious too, because I know that as soon as my husband wakes up the next day and he tries to use our debit card and can't buy groceries, that that he's gonna be so angry with me, and that I probably, if I do it again, he's gonna leave me, I, and I'm not gonna have any money. It's terrible.
It is. It is. So that little moment of excitement manifests into a long amount of time where you're feeling stress and anxiety and guilt. So it doesn't really seem like it's worth the consequences to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it is an addiction. Maybe I just have such a hard time stopping.
I understand. Well, I have some assessments I would like to give you just so I can learn more about you as a person
Okay.
and maybe what motivates you and guides you to do things. And then would you be open to going to possibly a support group where you could talk to other people that struggle with gambling and
Do you
the
think there are other
consequences?
people in this area that have this problem too?
Oh, there's people everywhere that have this problem.
Oh, I hadn't really considered that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be hard, but I think maybe it would be helpful.
Yeah, just to have a moment to talk to people that are going through what you're going through. And then, are you open to keeping a journal for me through the week until I see you next week?
Well, sure. What would I write in it?
Just however you're feeling about things, if anything causes you to feel anxious, if anything brings up the idea of going gambling and what really triggered that feeling that you wanted to go do that. Now, do you have any travel coming up for work?
I do. I'm going to Oklahoma.
Okay, and when is that going to be?
It's in 2 days.
Oh, in 2 days. Is there, so the chances of you wanting to go to a casino are probably high.
They are, but I have talked to my husband about this time, and I know that because I'm just at the beginning of this process where I'm coming and asking for help, that maybe he could go with me.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Do you think he can?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
he won't always be able to, but he's giving it one last try. So I think at this time he would be able to go with me.
Okay, that would be wonderful. That would guarantee that, you don't give in to the urge to do that. And it might benefit if we have a few couple sessions with your husband, maybe to try and help him understand what you're going through and maybe work on your relationship together as you're working through this addiction that you have.
I'll ask him if he'll do that.
Okay, great. Well, I will see you next week
Okay.
and we'll step out of the room and then I'll give you the assessments.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.